shouldn't have a camera to be able to see myself because I do stupid crap.
What's up, you guys? Ow! I hit my hand on the freaking bed frame. My name is Wolfie. In this video, like I said, well, for me, this is like 2 minutes later. I don't know when this will all be uploaded though. For you guys, this is right after I did the video about coming back to YouTube. This one I want to talk about my seizure in January of 2018. And I don't know how the audio is going to be, again, because I should have stopped and listened to it, but I liked how everything's configured right now, so I didn't want to mess with it, but that might screw me in the end. Anyways, so, like I talked about the peritoneal dialysis, it worked for a while. Then it stopped working, and they didn't know why. My nurse said, hey, you're probably constipated. They gave me stool softeners, worst week of my life, in terms of shitting my brains out. Not even an exaggeration, there was like nothing in me. Still didn't work. And she was like, oh, keep trying. Like, no, there's nothing left. There's nothing left to keep trying to push out. And then my blood pressure was getting real high because of, the so much fluid on my body. At any given time, I'd have 20 plus pounds of fluid on my body. You know, you could stick your finger in my leg. That could have gone bad. You could stick your finger like against my leg, my thigh, my shin, especially my shins, and you know it would be like it would be pushed in a certain amount. It would go, you know, an inch into my skin before you could hit the bone and stop, and that was all fluid. And then there'd be an indent of your thumb in my thigh, shin, whatever. Mostly because, you know, when I get up, walk around, the fluid, gravity, it'd go to my legs. That's why more than anything it would be in my legs. And, you know, having it additionally more and more be put on my body because my dialysis isn't working and my kidneys sure aren't working. You know, I stopped peeing at one point. I didn't pee for like 6 months when I was on hemodialysis, which is crazy to me to think about now, but then I was just like, oh well, I don't have to go to the bathroom. Which is still crazy to think about. But yeah, so I had all this water weight on my body. My blood pressure was spiky, like it was high, and I started losing my vision. It was so bad, right? The headaches were crazy bad. The first time I've ever called out in work, and I don't call out for work. People know me. I even went to work one time, and this was at the job after I got the transplant, and I had the flu. And he was like, "Here, I'm going to show you what you have to do today," because I work at a furniture company. And at that time, I was a delivery guy, and he was like, "I'm going to show you the dryer to deliver today, right?" And he was walking to the back with him, and I started walking away. He was like, "Where are you going, bud?" I said, I gotta throw up. Because that earlier morning, I threw up like 4 times on our apartment shared porch. Whoever lived beside us had a rude awakening when they got up for their job. Because I threw up 4 times on that porch. And it was all Popeyes I'd eaten that night. And it did not look good. Like, you could see the peas in chunks. I'm sorry if this stuff makes you nauseous. It doesn't bother me. But it was just on the deck. And they'd probably walk out and be like, "Woo, woo!" I know I would. I'd be pretty annoyed if I shared a porch. And I was like, why is there throw up on this porch? Or deck? But, yeah. That's the only other time I even went to work and He was like, you need to go home. I don't call it a work. Oh, 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 oh. Oh damn, my phone's like on 20%.
Alright, well, I'm gonna hop off here and, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, that was my girlfriend calling. She's a very alarming ringtone, so I know for sure it's her. Boy, what was I talking about? Okay, so yeah, my blood pressure went up. It was affecting my vision. I could see through like little pinholes in my vision, and it kept getting worse. And that was the only time I called out of work, like ever. And my head was so bad, it didn't matter what kind of medication I took to fix it. And my mom went to the hospital, I think that night, or the night before, something like that. And they just gave me morphine to dull my head, right? I don't understand why they let me leave though, honestly. If they took my blood pressure and saw how high it was, why were they just like, here's morphine, bye? And the morphine didn't do anything. Like it felt like taking a Tylenol, one singular Tylenol. It was nothing. Didn't help anything. So we went home, tried to fall back to sleep. I woke up 10 or 11, I think. This night is a blur to me because I forgot everything. Like my mind was wiped. I forgot everything. I remember right before it happened, and I remember waking up in the hospital. And then people say, no, this happened, and then it's back in my memory, right? Which is weird. It's like I lost my memory, but if somebody talks about it, it's back, and I haven't lost it. Like, I'll have an instance in 1 second, but I had to take my pills. I got my pills. I was doing this, try to open my pill case because I couldn't see out of certain parts of my eyes. And I was trying to open it, and my hands weren't working right, and I was shaking, and I spilled all my pills, and I got pissed. I screamed. I was mad. I was like, ah! But loud. And then I was trying to pick them up. And my mom came upstairs. I was living with her, at this time. That's the house I moved back to. And she was like, what's wrong? Why are you screaming? I said, I can't get my damn pills in the pill case. I can't take my fucking pills, right? And then I forgot from then on. Boom. I'm in the hospital. I was like, what? How did I? What? And then my mom was there. I'm pretty sure. I know my girlfriend was there. But I can't remember if my mom was like out getting lunch or at work or something. And they eventually all told me what happened. And she said that what happened was, and she was terrified by it. Like, it terrified her. I'm trying to keep my mic out of frame. And I don't think it's working as well as I like, because I also want that audio. But she said that I got mad, pissed off at my pills. And then I did like this, and was like, and fell over, which seems funny. And it is now, to me. Sure, it still isn't her. And she was like, Luke? And then she realized what was happening and was like, oh my god. And the dialysis machine, again, was in the way. The thing supposed to be keeping me from having this happen was in the way. So then she, screamed for her husband to call somebody. And I think he called like the fire chief or something, fire department, I don't know. But there was a bunch of people there, and she was just like holding me until they got there. And even they said like, the dialysis machine's in the way, it can't be in there. Which was impossible. I had to have it in there. There's nowhere else I was gonna put it. It was like we sterilized that room. And then I remember, before I woke up in the hospital, I remember it being pitch black and hands coming out of it nowhere to just grab me all over, right? Just terrifying. It's terrifying. And I was like screaming, fighting them off, because I thought I was dying. I'm like, that's the only thing I can think of death, is of black void and things trying to grab you and pull you into the void. What it was, the firefighters were like reaching over the bed, reaching over the dialysis machine, trying to pull me closer to the bed so they could pick me up and bring me downstairs. And I was like screaming and fighting them and like, no! And then I just, again, I guess. I don't remember much else after fighting them. And then I remember feeling like I was falling, landing, and being terrified, like grabbing anything. And what that was they couldn't carry me down the stairs because of how narrow the hallway was and the stairway, you know, because it's an old house. So they put me in a chair, and the chief, number one in charge, whoever it was that was leading this team of firefighters, put me in the chair and carried me down. He slipped on one of the stairs, slammed, didn't mean to, but I'm sure in his mind he was thinking, this kid's gonna fall out of the chair, or I need to like throw him, push him down to stable ground so he doesn't fall out and get hurt. Like, he was fine getting hurt. So he boom, right on the bottom of the stairs, like, you know, when you step off the last stair. So that was me feeling the falling, and then boom, and I woke up for like 1 second. It was like, and then was back out. And then I remember being in the hospital because I heard my phone going off like crazy, just going off. And it was my girlfriend, but I didn't know that. I was just, and I was laying back because they gave me something to like calm my body, and I was reaching for it, but my hands and arms wouldn't work. I was doing this. I was reaching for it. I couldn't get it. I was slamming my hands down on the bed. My mom was with me, so she stopped me and she was like, "What do you need? What's wrong? Are you okay?" I was like, "I gotta text a lot." So she grabbed my phone. She was like, "Tell me your password." I told her. Boop, boop, boop. She texted her for me, told her what was going on. I don't remember anything else. Next thing I remember was waking up in the next hospital. Because the hospital we have here is not good. It's not. It's a small town. We're lucky we have a hospital. And they just took me to one about a couple hours away that's a lot more, that would deal with my condition a lot better. And that's when I remember waking up again. And then they put a port in my neck. I still have 2 scars from it. It just looks like a little vampire bite. I can never point it out, but like, you know, my family can. And it was just 2 tubes coming out, and they did blood dialysis for like 3 days. And that was the most painful 3 days I've ever had in my life. I don't know what it was about doing it through my neck, or maybe it was the condition my body got into because of the seizure, but it hurt so much. Like screaming out with pain, drooling with pain, foaming at the mouth with pain, and the nurses were not attentive. I've had wonderful, perfect, great nurses almost my entire life. These nurses sucked. Every other nurse I've had has been great. They've gotten to know me and they love me. One nurse even made up like a hospital room for me when I was getting ready for surgery, and she knew I was coming in. She was like, "Oh, Luke's coming in." She made this room up, got it all comfy, nice. You know, all these nurses like made a little banner for me. They all knitted together this blanket for me. Great people, right? I've had great nurses. Nurses better than I deserve. And these nurses at this hospital were awful. I was like, I need painkillers. Okay, we'll get you some. An hour later, I'm on the bathroom floor, like writhing in pain. My girlfriend runs out. He needs something. Hello? Oh, well, he just had some. No, he didn't. He didn't just have some. He asked for some. Okay, we'll get it to him. Half an hour goes by, and I'm like drooling on the bathroom floor because of how much I'm in pain. And she's like, you need to get him something before I do. And then they finally came in and gave me something, and I just passed out because the second my body got like this single bit of relief, it was just like, we need to rest. You know, my body felt like tense the whole time. This 2-hour period, I'm waiting on these fucking nurses to give me medicine. And then my friends came to visit me a couple of times. Barely remember that. I watched like 3 movies, at least 1 or 2 with my girlfriend. I don't remember them. I don't remember the movies. For one of them, I think it was Marley and Me. I remember the start. I remember the credits. And I was awake the whole time because when the credits started, I was like, huh? It's like, I didn't fall asleep, but the rest of the movie didn't happen. It was just like it started and the credits rolled. It's just my brain doing more stuff. It's just recovering, but still dissolving a bunch. Why are there so many hairs in here? And that's the big story of my seizure. Then after that, they fixed the peritoneal tube. And the doctor who did the surgery the first time and this time said, next time this happens, it's not that you're constipated. You need to come to me right away. Cool guy. Super cool doctors. I've also had super cool doctors. I can't think of a doctor I've had that's been an ass. Even when I was in Georgia and first got a doctor down there, he seemed like an ass the first couple times, and then started to get to know me, and you know, everything was fine. But yeah, he fixed it, and what it was is there was fat tissue in this lining of my stomach that were clogging the tubes, because it's, you know, it's like if it were my finger, I mean, it's bigger, it would have been like that, you know. If it were my finger, there's little holes all around it that when you put the liquid in that my stomach would absorb, or the lining, it spits it out. Rather than just coming out of like one tube hole, it spits it out. And there was just fat tissue clogging it. And so he fixed that for me. And a lot of my stuff that I'm going to be talking about is very hazy to me. Because of pain, my brain is blocked out. Because of medication, my brain is blocked out. Because of other things, my brain is blocked it out. It's just going to be what I remember, really. Yeah, that was that. And then not too long after that, they just put me on hemodialysis, blood dialysis. And, yeah. So, I'll do another video on the hemodialysis side of things. But that was the story of my seizure, from most of what I remember. And it was after that I got on SSI. It was after that they were like, okay, his condition's pretty bad. Maybe he shouldn't be working. You know, if say, I don't know, he's in the middle of stocking something, because that's basically where I worked. I worked at like a gas station. He's stocking something, or getting money, or helping a customer, and he seizes on the spot, or who knows what could happen, right? I mean, I had a stroke when I was like 15, and I was in high school. I didn't know that's why it was. I had a clot in my leg. I drove home. I drove home like an idiot. But I didn't know what was happening. I was hitting the steering wheel, screaming so I'd stay awake, and just like threw up and passed out when I got home. And it was a blood clot. And like I think it was my left side. My whole left side like went numb at one point from this clot. And, I went blind in an eye for a while. And even now, from that seizure, in January, which was only like 2 years ago, I think it's this eye. Yes. Yeah, it's my left eye. There's certain places in my left eye where if you run a finger by it, I still can't really see. I can see mostly, right? But the damage it did was just permanent now. And the biggest thing I forgot to say is that when they took my blood pressure after my seizure, they were like, I don't know how he's not brain damaged. I don't know how his brain didn't melt. Your normal blood pressure should be 120/80. That's like perfect. Now, if you're, a bigger guy, it might be a little higher. If you're a smaller person, it might be a little lower. It's just how it is, right? It varies. My dogs are playing and I can hear them. I don't know if you can, but I can hear them. Because one of them's very loud when he plays. But, yeah, normally 120/80. My blood pressure was 240/160. Which is double the normal amount. Like, no wonder my head felt like it was splitting. Like someone was cracking my skull open. Because my brain was frying in my head. And they were like, we don't know how more damage wasn't done to him. But, that's my seizure story. I mean, so, well, I have more stories I still want to tell you guys, but it's starting to be annoying sitting like this, so I might wait a little while. I think I'll have lunch, and then come back and finish recording some stuff, and I'll go pre-order The Last of Us, even though I've probably already uploaded some of The Last of Us stuff. He's very loud when he plays. But, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and being here again. I have another story or two to tell just on this, and then I'll probably stop. God, he's so loud. But yeah, give me more questions if I haven't answered them about this story too. And, yeah, thank you everybody so much for watching. And, still being here and everything. Bye. Still feels weird the way I'm saying bye, but I'll get over it.